purpose of this public hearings for due process for John, to give John the opportunity to give a viewpoint as to his position for electoral candidate for the board. So John, I'll open it up with you.
I guess my position is just like it was before. I was elected to the position, and I don't believe that I owe a water bill anyway, but it's been paid, and I just believe that you should spend all of your efforts trying to get me on the board instead of keeping me off of it like everybody wants, so we could all work together and I guess do what's better for the town. That's pretty much all I have to say, Bob.
The question that I have is that when the law says that he's an ineligible candidate, and if you read the duties of the mayor, it says that the first thing that I'm responsible for is to make sure that the laws and the ordinance are enforced. But instead, it's some sort of vendetta that I have against John. This little book and those statutes that I gave everybody a copy of, this entire board has a copy, John Haan has a copy of it, clearly states that at the point of him signing those papers, at the point of him signing those papers, he cannot be in debt to this municipality. That's what it says.
So why didn't you do your job and take care of that and come talk to me like a man instead of wait until the last minute, Bob?
John,
answer me that. Why did you wait? Why did you wait?
You waited to play your trump card.
Wait a minute. Why did you wait till last minute, Bob? Okay, you're wrong. Okay.
He was aware of this the whole time.
I guess that's my problem. You sat here at these meetings and say, I want, we're doing it for the best of the village, or I want things to be for the best of the village, or I want, and yet you took this opportunity to create yet another fiasco.
Amen.
At the time of the caucus, when you were so angry about the candidates selected, why didn't, you knew then that John had a water bill. Why didn't you say, we have a problem, he can't file these papers because he owes a water bill? No, you let that go by. You let the name be placed on the ballot, knowing all the time that this was there, like your ace in a hole. And then you let the election take place, and you probably didn't think John would win. But when he won, then you went, well, I know what I'm going to do about that. But instead of going to John and saying, you have a water bill, there's this state statute, there's this, there's that. Can we get this taken care of and move on with village business? No. You chose to once again make it a circus here, to make the village look stupid, to make the people angry. And you have created incredible anger and distrust in this village. By waiting and doing it in a public meeting instead of going to John's house or going to John or asking him to come up here and saying, John, you've got this water bill, we have this state statute, there is a problem. Can we get this taken care of before it's time to seat you? But you didn't do that. You did what you thought was going to make a big splash, and thank you, it did.
I'm going to read. Statement of candidacy and the accompanying oath are phrased in the present tense. So once he signed the statement of candidacy, it was all over at that point. He was an ineligible candidate.
And you knew that.
Wouldn't have made any difference.
And you knew that.
Up until 2008, if John paid off his bill, he could be seated on the board.
Is that what the old last year's book
and it
said?
clearly states that in the book. Up until that point.
You, the mayor is required to see that all laws and ordinances are faithfully executed. Even though John had a bill, John had no knowledge that he couldn't be a candidate until that point. You didn't give him any books. You didn't give him any guidance. You are required by your own paper that you passed out to see that the laws are faithfully executed. At that point, you should have went to him and said, John, you can't be a candidate. John could have withdrawn, and we could have had an honest election.
At that point.
At that point, he would be out of it.
At the point that you're saying I had willful knowledge of that, I did not.
You're
lying, Bob. You said over a year ago you had that. That was your quote.
You knew he had the bill, and you told us last month you told us that you knew about this law, that he couldn't be that. That's
when
what
I
you
read
said
the
last
book-
month, Bob.
When I read the
That's
book.
what you said last month. You knew it for a year ago. That's what you told
I
us.
did not know that John Haan could
Now,
not be a
which story
candidate
is
a
the
year
truth?
ago. I did not say I knew a year ago John Haan
You
could not be a
did.
candidate.
You did in an open
I
meeting.
said I
certainly
had
did.
knowledge of his bill because Mr. Hines asked the question.
How would you know his
He
about
said, how
the
long have
bill?"
you known about the bill? And I said, a year, year and a half, ever since we filed the first lien. I knew about the bill. I did not know it made him an ineligible candidate at that point. Okay, I did not know that. Now, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I did not know that at that point.
Did the book jump out and tell you to go check it all out, or did you just take that upon you?
No, because it says in the duties of the mayor that that's my responsibility to make sure it's done right.
I see that.
Okay?
You should have done it right in the first place then.
And how could I have changed the circumstances at all, John? How could I have changed them at all? You signed a statement of candidacy saying that you were not in debt to the municipality.
And I
And you
didn't,
were in fact in debt
and
to
I
the
didn't
municipality.
know that you could be on the.
Well, but the candidate's guide, of which is on the web, okay, of which I printed it off, it's 52 pages
Yeah.
worth, and it clearly states that one of the statements is that you know you're a
And
candidate.
I didn't know that, okay?
Well, but you were a candidate.
Yeah.
And you signed it, you knew the rules.
No, I did not.
No, he didn't know the rules.
No, I didn't.
That was
You
your
signed
job
a
to tell him
statement
the
of
rules.
candidacy, and it's not my job to tell him the rules.
Your job to enforce
No,
the
it's
law.
not. It's my job to enforce the law,
Yeah.
yes.
To see that the laws are carried out, the ordinances.
And my job, and that's exactly what we're doing, okay? That's exactly what we're doing.